Hello and welcome to Goodnight channel. I'm PJ.
I'm Jake.
And we're trying to beat 52 games in 52 weeks. I forget exactly how I said that last time.
But you did it this time.
But I did it this time.
Perfect.
This week we played Bayonetta 2. Game 10. Don't give me your fucking jazz hands. Game 10 of 52. We're 1/5 into it. Give or take.
Give or take.
We're almost done, kind of.
I hate you and your goddamn fractions.
You want to talk about the rules of this?
What rules?
Or I can just cut it.
No rules!
The rules for our 52 game challenge are that one of us can't have played it or can't have beaten it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's played every game.
One of us can't have beaten it.
Okay.
But both of us have to play it.
Yeah.
Even if one of us has beaten it. So if we say, oh yeah, we're going to play this, we're both going to have to suffer through it.
And suffer we will.
And we'll have to beat it. Beating it, usually when it says the end, is beat.
Yeah. And there's some credits, hopefully.
Maybe.
I really hope there's credits.
Anyway, so let's talk about Bayonetta 2. The second one, because we already talked about Bayonetta 1.
Like yesterday.
Yeah, it'll be just as interesting.
Bayonetta 2, released in 2014.
Our newest game. Nope.
No.
4.
Yeah, still newest.
Do we play a newer game besides Fallout 4?
No.
God, we're a retro channel.
Yeah, we're not good at game talk.
Bayonetta 2.
It was made by Platinum, just like the first one.
Published by Sega and Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo had their hand in this one because they loved Bayonetta so much that they gave them money to make another one.
Yeah, that game that was released on the Wii.
Yeah.
Yep. Sega-Tendo.
I still don't know why.
No, but I'm really happy it happened anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I know about it.
So this game picks up right after.
Like a week after. No, like a month after.
7 days after.
7 hours after the first game.
An
Christmas Day of that year that the game ended.
Christmas Day of Bayonetta 1. And the game opens up with Joe Pesci trying to buy things for his kids. As most character action games do, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've only played 2 of them, and this is the second one.
Walk me through the story.
All right, so the story's pretty interesting in this game. You got this Joe Pesci character buying gifts for his kids. Bayonetta's like we're introduced to Bayonetta again, and immediately we're also introduced to Jean. Jean.
That's what Jean.
Yeah, you're right. And Jean's cool because she's got a motorcycle.
Gosh, she's so cool.
Yeah, she looks really cool.
Bayonetta's
got a pretty dress on.
Everyone's mean to Joe Pesci. Everyone
hates Joe Pesci.
Everyone hates short Italians.
While doing their Christmas shopping, these people are interacting with each other. They're having a good time. And then a jet comes out of goddamn nowhere.
Well, as Joe Pesci buys a jet.
As he's also buying a jet, he goes, you know what?
A tiny toy jet.
I'm going to buy a toy jet for my son because of jets. And then a jet crashes. Because
he's such a cute motherfucker.
And just before the jet crashes, Bayonetta's on top of the jet. And then she fights a bunch of horsemen.
Yeah.
And then, they fly all over the city. It's really cool.
Yeah, they fly all over the city. They're fighting angels, and her and John are fucking fighting shit, and it's really cool. And it's like, I don't know if it's my favorite or second favorite. It's one of my favorite parts in this whole game is just the opening, where they're like flying around on a jet, and John's on a different jet, and they fly past each other. And
it's radical.
And then they fly onto a subway thing first, or like a train, and then they fight a big thing, and then they fight an even bigger thing.
And then Bayonetta loses control of one of her summons.
Right.
And she fights it.
All right, we're back. There's a cat in our roof, I think. Just lodged in there. Or a possum. Or a person. Or a whole box of kittens.
I hate you. It's got to be one single adorable kitten up there.
Regardless, there's an animal that now lives in our roof.
No, it's an adorable animal. An adorable animal.
I said animal. It could
But
be any
he's adorable. We know
perfect animal.
The animal I've always wanted.
12 birds tied to a
together.
balloon. So they're just constantly like flying back at each other. Anyway, so we're back. We're going to talk about Bayo 2 some more. And hopefully the cat won't go, or whatever it is, won't go fucking nuts up in our roof.
I can't believe there's a cat in our roof.
Me neither. I can't believe there's a possum in our roof.
I can't believe there's a raccoon in our roof.
Possible as well.
Yeah. Think we could eat it?
Welcome to Goodnight Channel.
Hello, and welcome to Goodnight Channel. We have a cat in our roof. Or a small child.
So yeah, we fight a big thing. She summons a thing, her big dragon thing, her avocado.
Avocado.
So she summons avocado, and it kills the thing, and then it goes fucking crazy. It like rips out of her hair, and she's like, "What?" And then it. Well, she doesn't notice it at first, but John's like, Bayonetta or Cereza pushes her out of the way, and then she gets separated from her body.
Her soul is trapped and brought down to hell.
Her soul is brought
Inferno.
to heck.
They don't have heck there.
No, it is hell.
They call it
hell as well.
Shh.
They call it both.
You can't say the H slur.
Okay. They bring her to HE double hockey sticks.
Yeah.
And then
Family
Bayonetta
appropriate.
beats up a demon. Her demon.
Her
own demon. And if you hear little scratchy noises in the background, that's our new pet.
Our new pet in the roof.
Our new roof pet.
I'm going to put cat food up in the vents for it.
Oh, good. So the homeless man can eat. Great. They put cat food up here. Great. I'm going to live here forever. It's getting real uncomfortable, but there's free food.
Free food. Forget it all. Who cares how hot it is? There's free food up here.
Well, that's why he's up there right now. It's nice and cool.
Yeah, it's cool right now.
Yeah.
Come summertime, though, while he's still up there.
Baked homeless person. Anyway.
Infuriating.
So, our big push towards anything, I guess, is that Jean is trapped in hell, and Bayonetta loves Jean.
A lot. Like a sister.
Yeah. I think she even says Umbran sister.
Yeah, they are Umbran sisters.
They say it a couple times. It carries a certain connotation that they're like best friends. We're now going to somewhere. Fimbleventer. I only remember because it has a dumb name.
I like the name. It grew on me throughout the game. I was like, all right, it's a cool name now.
Fimbleventer.
Because it started, I was like, what? And then I was like, cool.
Fimbleventer has a gate to hell and
the gate to heaven.
And the gate to heaven.
And Bea goes knocking on heaven's door.
On hell's door. So we get to, first we have to fly a biplane with Joe Pesci to the place. We get there. We get to the city. It's a big city. It's a big DMC4 city. Looks exactly the same.
It's like Vindred in the first game.
Yeah, it's similar but a little bit more fancy, like the thing from the first game. So we're in the big city, and we're gonna go to hell. Ride Bayonetta's Ride to Hell.
Retribution.
And we meet a little kid named Loki.
He's pretty cool.
He's not, but that's okay. I don't like Loki.
He's got the
He's
Matrix Twins hair. That's why I like him.
So we meet up with Loki. He's a little kid, just like in Bayonetta 1, where there's a little kid.
But he's cooler.
This one's about 1/10 as endearing as Cereza.
How can you say that? He has cool white dreads.
Cereza had little itty bitty eyebrows. The littlest, ittiest, bittiest eyebrows you could possibly imagine. Perfection. The perfect child.
This kid turns into a squirrel.
He does turn into a squirrel, like Alvin and the Squirrel Monks.
Coincidentally, the same thing that's in our roof.
Oh my god, it's never gonna end. I'm never gonna be able to edit this episode.
Anyway,
let's hardcore focus. Let's just power through the animal on our roof and let's just focus. So PJ doesn't have to deal with all this. So we meet up with Loki. I don't even know. We meet up with Loki. Eventually, we're going on our way through this fucking magic place. There's water involved. Eventually, we meet our Virgil, which is our character who is our same abilities. Like, they have the same moveset, and they're going to be our boss multiple times. What's his name? The Masked Lumen.
Yeah.
So he's pretty cool the first time you meet him.
Yeah.
He's, you know, admittedly, maybe not as cool as Jean. I don't think so, at least.
I think he's pretty cool. He's more mysterious.
I guess. When I met him, they were like, what's under the mask? And I was like, I don't really care what's under the mask. I just want him to be cool. And he's pretty cool. He's got these weird time stop powers that doesn't use that often when I feel like he should. But I don't know how they work, so that's not fair of me to say.
It's like Witch Time.
Yeah.
But it's Lumen Time.
Lumen Time. Yeah, Lumen Time seems really cool. He's got a big double-sided spear that's really cool, and he throws it around. And they're really cool fights. All the fights with Lumen Sage are fun.
Yeah, they're
really fun affairs. But as they usually are in well-made character action games, whenever you fight your rival, it should be the most fun moments in the game, I think. It's like a little PvP encounter almost.
So you meet him. I think you get a little bit of backstory that someone else summoned him from somewhere, and like early on in the game, it's the who was that other guy? There's some other mysterious man.
Diamond Man.
Yeah, he's like
he's
blue
a big
diamond. Yeah, and he's like,
looks like shit.
Go do stuff, and you're like, I don't understand any of this. So you go do stuff. So yeah, you and Loki team up, and you go fight shit. It's pretty fun. You fight that sage a couple times, and eventually you make it to Fimbulventer. Fimble.
Whoa. Yeah, okay, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, the majority of the game is you running around the city.
Yeah.
And then you constantly getting almost to Fimbulventer, and then, like, taking you get 3 steps forward and then 2 steps back.
Yeah,
constantly.
Yeah. So you get almost there. You're practically there.
Well, it seems like, you get almost there, and then everyone goes, fuck it. And they just swim into it.
They go underwater.
Like, we're here now.
And then they do a Moby Dick, and then they're in hell.
Oh, yeah, they do a Moby Dick. I totally forgot about that. They swim straight through the planet core.
Hardcore focus. And you fucking bring up the fucking planet core? Fuck you.
It's all I could think about in that part. Because you know how they're flying around in Zabongo, and they get chased by all those big things? It really reminded me of that for some reason.
Makes sense. I don't
you fight a big manta ray who's really cool looking and looks like an SMT demon.
Yeah, and then you go inside his body.
Oh, and then you go inside the body. Which
was really cool. I like that. It reminded me of Majora's Mask, where you go inside the whale's butt.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that part really, really well. What part in Majora's Mask do you go inside the whale's butt?
You gotta go through the ice. You gotta go through the ice area. Anyway, forget my Zelda reference. It doesn't matter. It was dumb.
What? When does that happen in Majora's Mask?
When you go through the ice area and there's the king and he's got...
Oh, I get it. Very, very, very funny. Because it's not Majora's Mask. That's the joke. It's Ocarina of Time. Interesting. Also not an ice area.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's just a water area the first time. It's just a water area the first time.
That's why he's squeaking, because there's all that ice.
I am going to kill myself.
And then once you beat the whale...
This podcast is my suicide. Done here.
Oh, no. I broke PJ.
Anyway, so you go through the Leviathan stage in DMC3. Almost exactly. In fact, this is the first time that you fight anything demonic. And when you fight demonic things, instead of halos, you get little red orbs. So I thought this whole area was actually just a big, like, joke. Not a joke, but like a big reference to DMC3.
Homage.
An homage. Because I thought, oh, they're doing the red orbs, and they're doing the blue things, and I'm inside a big creature, underwater creature thing, going through his bowels and fighting shit. It seemed to make sense to me, but that's the demonic thing is just that there's red orbs now, which is still cool.
Yeah, I mean, what differentiates? Why would they have halos?
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't care even if they were halos. I wouldn't bat an eyelash, but the fact that they like differentiated them for no reason is pretty cool.
Yeah, they still count as halos though, which I think is weird. But
yeah, they do. Yeah. Never mind. Game's shit.
Worst game.
Tear it down.
1 out of 10.
Ugly girls.
So yeah, you go through all that, and then somehow you just end up in this Hellgate area. I don't remember how you just
you
show
end
up there.
in London, Hellgate, London.
Yeah, what a great game.
What a great game.
And you have to go around and you got to punch the hell gate a couple times.
Oh yeah, you end up in like limbo or something first.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's supposed to be, but there are neutral entities there, golems.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
There's lore.
They're like race cars.
Yeah, I could read the lore. I don't.
Yeah, I've never read any.
I don't.
Not for this game. The first game I read a little bit.
No, neither for me. But yeah, so you open up the gate to hell.
And you go to hell.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Man, we're really working our way through this story.
Yeah, because this is, at this point, there's 16 chapters in this game. This is like chapter 10, I think.
Yeah, we're
at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
like it's literally 9 chapters of you go through, which sounds bad when I say it like that, but it's really not. Like it never. This game doesn't feel slow at all. It doesn't feel repetitive.
I mean, I beat it in 2 days. It was fast for me. Like,
it's really, really fast, but it doesn't. When I say the first 8 or so chapters are just going through a city, they're really interesting and really fun.
Yeah, it's just nothing to talk about because, I mean, you're
Yeah,
just going through a city, fighting
going
stuff.
through a city, yeah.
There might be memorable battles in there, but the end game is all I really remember vividly because it's so different from, like, the city stuff. It's like you're going through water, you're going through hell, like, you punch a bunch of tree eyeballs. Yeah,
and there's a big blue motif
this
time around as well. Everything's blue.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
There's these new enemies in this area that are really radical looking. All the Inferno enemies that you fight when you're in hell, are really cool. I like them. I think I like them more than the angel enemy types.
I like them the same.
I think I like them a little bit more because they just kind of they're different. Like I've just spent 2 games fighting angels.
I like both. I like their designs both. Like
I this one feels like there's a lot of horses in this game, so it's nice to get away from horses for a bit.
I don't know why that is. There is a lot of horses.
A lot of horses and a lot of big dudes.
A lot of big dudes and horses.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So that's why I like the Inferno things, because they were like really wacky and weird, and one of them turns you into a little girl and it murders you instantly.
Yeah, that is
it's
really cool.
Instant game over if you become a little girl.
The first time I heard the Shadow Remains cast was in one of these stages.
Yeah, I think that's my first death was to one of those.
Yeah. Real quick, difficulty in this game seems way different than the first one.
I think it's because the mechanics just work a lot better.
I don't think so.
I feel like the first game's mechanics were a lot harder for some reason. Like, it ramps up its difficulty so fast in that game.
I don't think that has anything to do with the mechanics, though. That's if you noticed, and I noticed it when they did it. You right after this hell section, which we're gonna go back and talk about the hell section a little bit more, but for right this second, I'm gonna skip past it because that's a smart thing to do in a podcast where there's no visual aid or anything really, so you don't know where I am at all. So I'm gonna skip past it really quick. You go back to Finland. You go back to Finland, which is where the first game was. You go back through a couple real quick areas from the first game, and one of them is maybe the fucking make or break encounter of the first game, which is those 2 fuckos.
Yeah.
But now you are this is now the second to last stage in the whole game.
Yeah.
Before they even have you fight these 2 things again. And even then, they're still pretty hard. Like, Bayo 1 really... Also, never once does it deprive you of witch mode in the main story.
Yeah.
Only in the challenges does it ever deprive you of witch mode. In the main game, it always gives you witch mode. It never has those bullshit moments where it's having you fight like 4 of those things at one time and you have no witch mode. I'm sorry, I take that back. Not bullshit. They're really fun. They're just really hard. Like, I died about 100 times more in Bayo 1 than I did in 2. Well, I only died 3 times in Bayo 2. Maybe 4?
I think I died 3 times.
Yeah. Very small amount.
Yeah.
I died 6 times the first time I fought those double things.
Yes.
Like
it feels like the challenge though in this is put into those the challenge rooms.
Yeah, the Musliheims or whatever
like those
they're called.
Feel like things that you were doing
often.
Bayo 1. Like I was like, oh, thank God I can beat this game without like struggling. Because I don't know, Bayo 1 just difficulty ramps up so fast for me, and it's like, oh no.
I don't mind. I just think it's something worth pointing out. The Bayo 2 is easier for sure.
If I knew I could play Bayo 2 first, I think I might have, and then gone into Bayo 1 because I feel like I would have played Bayo 1 a lot better after playing Bayo 2.
Yeah, but then I guess you don't really miss out on a whole lot, huh?
No, you get it. We'll get to that. We won't talk about it right now.
Anyway, so Hell conclude. You go through Hell. It's fucking rad.
It's really great. Then you meet up with Rodon. He shows up.
And Slayer. The whole band's there.
Yep. And then Godzilla.
Yep.
I don't know what your
Godzilla
reference was.
Godzilla does go to hell.
Does he?
Yeah, in one of the new comic books. It's called Godzilla Goes to Hell. It has 4 different... Maybe it's like 6 different artists. I don't know, but a different artist goes through, and it's Godzilla's journey through hell.
Oh.
It's a comic.
Is it fun?
Yeah. I mean, Godzilla's in hell. What's not fun about that?
Everything
Everyone's
about
favorite lizard, I guess.
I've only ever seen the Matthew Broderick movie.
That's my favorite one. I'm a very, very big Godzilla fan, and that one's my favorite one.
It's got a lot of worms in it.
What?
That movie's about is worms.
What are you talking about?
That's the opening scene of the movie.
No, it's not. It has a fucking iguana.
What? No, he's like, I gotta collect these worms.
I don't remember, and I don't care. So you go through, you meet Rodon. Rodon's like, don't kill it. And you're like, what? Don't kill what? Whatever.
And then he helps you fight.
He helps you fight, and you go, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, he just does all the work.
Yeah, it's great.
Why doesn't he do everything? Why is he so powerful?
And then you reach this lady who's like,
Madam Butterfly, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, she's like, you can leave. I won't. I'm not upset that you broke my shit. And Bayonetta's like, I'm gonna break more shit. Yeah. So she breaks more shit, and then this lady's like, oh, now I'm gonna kill you. And she's like, oh, well, let me summon this big fucking monster lady. And she's like, is that Madama Butterfly?
Wow, you sound just like that lady.
Yeah, she's a Valley girl. She definitely doesn't speak in some crazy fucking made-up language. She does.
But thankfully in that language, Madame and Butterfly
are
still in English.
It's Madama. Yeah, she's saying all these very, like, I don't know, they sound like Latin or something, like some crazy-sounding language.
They sound just like tongues.
They do. Like, she's speaking in tongues or something. And then all out of nowhere, she'll just be like, Madama Butterfly, and I'm like, and
General Scales.
Oh ho ho solo.
Wow. Anyway,
so yeah, if you're Jake, you have a pretty difficult fight. If you're PJ, you get the
cheat codes.
You get the cheat codes of the game, which are just 2 chainsaws, and you go fucking ham on this lady and beat her in like 2 seconds. I think that's the level I have a platinum. No, it's not. I have a gold on it, not a platinum. But
you came close.
This level, you get these chainsaw. There's a bunch of new weapons. I should mention that.
Yeah, there's some new weapons in there.
There's 2 new swords. You use them immediately because they're fucking good.
Yeah, and I beat the game with them. I never changed out. I tried other stuff, but none of it was good. But if I'd gotten these chainsaws on my run, that would have been the end of it. I would have started all over. I would have went, I got chainsaws now? Let's beat this game easy mode.
And if they're on your feet,
you look cool as hell.
You like slide around and you don't have to break anything. Everything just automatically breaks and you can collect it.
Yeah.
Very much like Bayo 1, the swords are kind of broken. I don't know if that's true in high level play, but in like normal level play, swords are broken as hell. And then now you get the whip as well after you beat this lady. They're fucking powerful as hell, but I had them the whole game for some weird reason. I played on Jake's save.
I'll dare you.
Yeah, so the swords are really good. The hammer is garbo.
It's fun, but
it's garbage.
I would never play it.
Yeah, it feels awful. Yeah, the swords are where it's at, and the fucking chainsaws. I don't think we even mentioned this in Bayo 1, but certain combos produce what are called wicked weaves, which are just like super powered versions of the normal moves. And the chainsaws don't have any wicked weaves, which is their downside. Their upside is that they deal so much fucking damage that it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Inconsequential. That they don't have wicked weaves.
They do have really slow startups. If you notice, while I was fighting the final boss, he moves around kind of fast. We'll get to him in like literally 1 second. He moves kind of fast. I'd switch to normal swords to get in. And then once I'd have a hit on, I'd switch to the chainsaws to do damage. Because they have really slow startup.
Yeah.
That's their downside, I guess, is that they have slow startup and no wicked weaves.
So yeah, lots of cool weapons.
Yeah, they're fun. They're very fun.
So this boss, this demon Inferno lady, she has Jean
Oh yeah,
stuck inside of her.
She's like, I already ate her.
Yeah, and so you just beat her up and you take Jean out and you go, Sean,
Sean, you're home.
go home. And she goes, all right, and she leaves.
Yeah,
She just floats away like it's no big deal. I'm like, she's in Inferno. Something else is just gonna grab her, right? Like,
yeah.
it seems way too easy to just go, yeah, bye.
Yeah, I
like-
don't know how that works, but
Yeah, well,
she does it. And
then you leave.
yeah, you leave. You get on a big fucking flaming unicorn.
Oh yeah, the unicorn, which is so cool.
And which is a much, much better version of the motorcycle scene in the first game.
Yeah,
So
because you have a motorcycle horse.
yeah, who works a lot better, although PJ still died a bunch somehow.
Yeah,
Although I still got a platinum. That's the one I got the platinum on.
Oh,
Whatever. I didn't die, but I fell off the side. Whatever.
oh see,
Same
I
thing.
never did that. See,
So you beat up a bunch of shit on this unicorn, and then you catch, or the Lumen Sage catches up with you. I don't know. Lumen Sage is there somehow. I
yeah,
don't
and you
remember how he gets
both
there.
transform and you both race out of hell.
Yeah. You both transform, and then you have the fucking coolest. What are you talking about? You just get out of hell. You have the coolest fucking fight. The coolest fight.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either. It's a really cool fight, though.
You don't remember it either? Then did they even have a fight?
I thought they had a fight.
I don't think they have a fight.
They have a fight.
They have a fight.
They have to have a fight. They fight. I'm almost positive they have a really, really cool fight. But I also kind of get it confused. At the end of the Leviathan, I'm going to keep calling it Leviathan. The Manta Ray one, whatever. You also have a really cool fight with Lumen Sage again, where you're like in a bunch of fucking blood and shit. But yeah, I'm almost positive you guys have a fight. But if not, sue me.
Did you get out of hell?
And then you get out of hell. Or do you go backwards in time?
You do go backwards in time.
Go backwards in time to the witch hunts, which is
is really
where
cool.
one guy hunted a bunch of witches.
Based on bad information, I think.
Don't know, don't care.
See
Yeah,
you in
you find out
Bayonetta
that
3.
you find out that this pasty guy's like, Rosa's dead.
And then she's like, Baldur!
Yeah, Rosa is the exact same character model as Bayonetta, so I went mom, and
Yeah.
it's her mom.
Yep.
And they kind of treat it like a mystery. I don't know why.
I don't think they did, but...
They do, because she doesn't say mom until the very, very end. It's like the last thing. She's
just
like,
because
Mommy.
Bayonetta's cool.
Yeah, she's
She
a little
knows
less
what's
cool
up,
in this
but-
game, I think. I think she's a little less cool in this game
Whatever.
than she is in one.
You're wrong.
She's cooler hair in this game.
Yeah.
No one's going to argue with that.
Anyway. So yeah, you go back to Vindred.
Yeah, you go back in time. This is...
And it's cool because you get to kind of play the first couple levels of the first game a little bit
Yeah.
alternatively, which is fun.
Well, what's cool is in the first game you have a flashback to this part.
Yeah, I mean, you play this part like 6 times. It's really
Yeah,
important to the story.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like poetry.
That rhymes. Yeah, in the first game you have a flashback to this part, and you're as Bayo, and this time you literally go back in time and you're fighting with your mama,
Yeah.
and you beat the shit out of some stuff, and she
With
helps you the
mech
whole way
suits.
through. Well, wait. Well, you get mech suits at some point, but
Don't forget about the mech suits.
first, I think you go through the boss rush first, don't you?
No, that's at the end.
Whatever. So you fight through with your mom. I wish there was more banter.
Yeah, I wish they were just talking.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard because she's very clearly Bayo's voice actress,
Yeah, so
just used again with a slightly different tone. So it would have been really weird to have them bantering back and forth. Oh, Luca's in the game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. He's so
Luca's
memorable
in
in
the
this
game.
one.
Yeah, he doesn't really do shit in this game.
Except look retarded.
He looks so dumb now.
I love
He
it.
looks like El Mariachi.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I mean,
He looks stupid, but I like it because he's just...
he now looks dorkier than ever before, and he has, I think, Baby Bayo's fucking glasses or something. They look so similar.
He says in the game that he got him from what's-his-face at the Gates of Hell. Rodin.
Oh, Rodin, yeah.
He says he went there and asked for him or something.
They
He
look
worked out
like-
a deal. That's why he's doing the thing at the very end.
Well, they look like Baby Bayo's glasses. Like, they look the same, which makes him look really stupid.
He looks dumb. I love him.
He just flies around on this new fucking hook shot thing that he's got. He just flies all around and then falls constantly. His main thing in this game is to...
Comedy relief you.
Well, not comedy relief you. Well, yes, comedy relief you. And save Loki when the game doesn't feel like having you save Loki. He kind of swoops in and grabs him real quick. He does that a couple times.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I just want to mention that Luca is in the game.
I don't know why you're mentioning him because he has nothing to do with this part.
No, he's nothing to do with this part. He's not in this part at all. But he's
absolutely nothing.
He's in a bunch of the city segments that I didn't care enough to talk about.
Yeah. We skipped all that.
Yeah, we skipped all that. Good.
All right.
I was just waiting for that to pass. I was at the end of a sentence anyway, so I just figured.
At this point, we get into mech suits.
Mech suit. Yeah, now we become mech warrior. I'm really bad at this part. I don't know why. Bad at the mech controls.
I really liked it. I like the designs of them because they look like the magic techs from Final Fantasy VI.
They do. I was going to make fun of you. I had a whole little... I was like, in my head, you were saying something about Final Fantasy. I was like, oh, I'm going to call him a loser or something. And then... But they look exactly like that. I'm not going to shit on you. Yeah, you are a loser, but I'm not going to shit on you for it.
I don't know. I thought that... And it's kind of cool. It felt like a little homage to that as well. Like... Because there's a magic girl in the beginning of that game, and she's in a magic suit.
They're magic mech suits.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So, they go around, you punch things with it. It's fun. I don't know. You didn't like it. There's an item that lets you summon it for the rest of the game if you want. But
so you can have your whole game feel like a fucking sluggish Borefest.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that.
I bet. But it's okay. It's not nearly as bad as any of the. It's way more fun than any of the other gimmick sections in Bayo 1.
Yeah. So yeah, you pilot this thing around, you punch things. It's weird. I don't know. And then you get to a boss rush where you fight a bunch of bosses again.
Yeah,
it's not that
slightly
bad.
Different way.
Yeah, it's kind of unique.
A little bit different context. I really like the part where they drop you into that arena and you're just fighting shit, and there's a bunch of angels around you, just like cheering on the other angels, and they're just throwing different kinds of angels at you. Like that's really cool. And then there's the first part. There's a boss there. I think that's the last part of the boss rush. I don't remember how this works. It's not like the boss rush in Bayo 1 where you're literally just fighting the bosses one after the other.
Yeah.
This is different.
It felt a lot more organic.
Yeah. It felt like there was story going on.
Yeah.
And then you fall and you fight Diamond Man.
Yeah, you fight the...
No, you don't. You fight Loki, but blue.
Blue Loki.
You fight Bloki.
He's got these cool blue hands that he throws in front of him.
He says he has a name. I didn't pay attention to it.
Lopter.
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 You fight Helicopter.
And
he's got blue stand hands.
Yeah, he's really cool. You fight him. His fight's not that hard. And then you meet up with your mom again. And she's dead now.
Yes.
And you go, Baldur, we gotta go to my time.
Oh, Baldur this whole time? Baldur is the Lumen Sage. Probably should mention that at some point.
Yeah, it's probably important. He's the Lumen Sage.
Baldur is the Lumen Sage. Also, your daddy. And he, this whole time, is trying to kill Loki because he thinks that he thinks that Loki killed Rosa because a kid who looks just like Loki threw a card at Rosa and she fucking died.
Turns out it's Lopter, his twin brother.
Yeah, it turns out
the evil brother.
Bayonetta walks up to him and is like, "What? You didn't notice that they had two different symbols on their forehead?" Which I thought was a really weird, felt weirdly, meta. I don't know why. Just like she had so much more intelligence than this other character. Felt really odd.
Baldur's dumb.
Baldur's dumb, it seems. But Baldur's pretty cool.
I like him.
Yeah, he's all right.
You kind of get to see the opposite in for the first game, he's evil.
So you do that. You meet up with Rosa. You go through a bunch of areas you've already been through in Bayo 1. You fight the same enemies, which is cool because now you're really fucking good at the game at this point. So you just fucking destroy them, which is a very cool feeling for me because the first time I fought them in that area, I got my fucking ass handed to me. So it was fun to beat them immediately. Yeah, and then Bayo's like, you're fighting the wrong guy, and Baldur's like, okay, I guess I am. And then you go into the future again, which just happens. I don't remember how. Bayo jumps on the ceiling. That's all I remember. She jumps on the ceiling, and she's like...
She puts her medallion down.
Oh, is that what she does?
And then they go into the future, and I went, what?
Yeah.
Is there just time travel? You could just time travel? Anyone can just time travel?
It's time travel. So then they go back to the future.
Part 2.
Oh, they go back to the future, part 2. where they go into the Wild West. Just kidding. I've never seen any of the Back to the Future, so I have no idea what it's in any of them.
That's the third one.
I'm told it's the third one.
It is.
And then you get on a plane.
A jet, yeah.
Oh, you get on. Jean comes and she's like, I'm in a jet now.
And then it becomes a shooter.
Yeah, it becomes a shooter. Like, very much like it becomes a Star Fox game. It legitimately does. Yeah. And then if you have the Star Fox outfit on, you're in an R-Wing, which is really cool.
Going into all range mode.
But it's literally a Star Fox. Like, you barrel roll left and right. You hold your button and it'll make
charge shot.
Yeah, it does charge shots. If something gets close, you do a swipe, just like in Star Fox. That part doesn't happen in Star Fox.
It will in the new one.
No, because I won't be able to fucking control it at all, so it won't matter. Fuck the new one.
It even gets a title in the corner. I'm trying to remember what it says because it's in the same font as like Angel Attack
or something. I thought.
Yeah.
Wing Assault. I don't know.
It's really cool though.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It feels like a whole nother game. Like
it functions a million times better than when they tried to do this in Bayo 1.
Yeah,
because they did try to do this before, and it doesn't work at all.
And this one's a lot shorter, thankfully, because the first one is like 10 minutes long, and it's just like I'm done.
The problem with the first one is that it should have been top down or vertical. Yeah. Like it should have been a vertical or horizontal shooter, which is what it was trying to emulate. Yeah. Which is why it had those like warning things and stuff. But in this one, it fits perfect because you're playing Star Fox, and it feels just like Star Fox.
Yeah. This one was a lot slower, I think, than the first ones.
Too.
Because it was Star Fox, but I don't know. I like this one a lot better. It felt
for sure.
Much more solid.
And then you're up at the top of Fimbulventer.
Finally, we did it. We got there.
Before you get there, Luca gets there first with Loki. Don't know how.
He opens up a door and Loki's there.
Yeah. And then he's like, all right. And then Loki gets captured.
By his evil twin brother.
Literally his evil twin brother.
Yeah. Who's evil.
He's evil. And
he's a twin.
He's twin.
That's his character.
Literally his character. He's even like, yeah, I'm the evil one.
Yeah, that's it. And he goes, all right.
I'm evil.
I'm evil. And he goes, well, and he takes his soul and he puts it inside his body.
Yeah. And first you fight with this is your final boss.
Yeah.
It's your final boss. There's not a boss after this. Well, there is one boss after this, but it's the secret boss. So you fight with Balder first. You beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'll just take the right eye then, or the left eye.
He takes both eyes.
He takes the first. Oh, does he take both eyes at once?
He takes both. Well, he takes one at a time, but he does take both, and then you fight him again.
And this one's harder.
Yeah, because now you're kind of weakened without your eyes, I guess.
Yeah, and then Balder comes in, and you fight him some more.
Yeah.
And this time it gets easier.
You do your badass climax.
Yeah. Well, wait. Yes.
Well, I don't remember anything else.
Balder gets fucking thrown somewhere, and then you go into wing mode. Oh, there's a big thing in this game.
That's right. There's a lot of flight battles in this, which...
Yeah, I'm really not a big fan of the flight battles.
I feel like they could have been executed a little bit better, because there's always like a plane that you're standing on, so you might as well just have been on a plane. Like, why isn't there just something you're standing on, like a rock? Yeah. Just so I have the visual cue of knowing that I'm on a plane, rather than because there's like a subtle plane, like you can sometimes see it. It's like, why? Just put me on something. Like, you always put me on clock towers, falling down cliffs in the other parts.
There's always a clock tower. They repeat the clock tower fight, which is cool.
I know.
But that's because there's always a clock tower.
Always a clock tower. Can't wait for Bayonetta 3's.
Bayonetta
3 Infinite.
Yeah, it's just going to be Bayonetta Infinite. It really could be. I mean...
It's just the first two games again. But with a racist story in it.
But with a
subtle racism.
Racist story, but not really.
Yeah. Like, they had a bunch of ideas, and they got rid of all of them right at the last minute.
Yeah. What a good game that would be.
They're going to show it at E3. It's got open world. There's no open world.
There's no open world. Or crows.
Or crows.
There's crows. Murder of Crows is the best tonic in that game. Anyway.
In this game, you can be a crow. So.
Oh, you can. Crow's really good in this game again.
Yeah. I didn't use it very often, but yeah, it's fun.
I always accidentally hit it when I would spam my dodge button, and then I was like, I'm in crow mode, and it does a bunch of damage, so I'll just stay here.
Stay
forever.
Here. This is me now.
I'll become a crow. So you fight him, you go into the wing battles. My issue with them, I think the whole cool part about Bayonetta's combat versus any other character action game, like, for instance, you've got Metal Gear Rising, which I think a lot of people have played at this point. Almost all ground combat. There's very little, like, there's not a whole lot of air juggles. It's all about parrying and kind of being on the ground. There are air juggles. I'm not saying there aren't, but it's much more focused on parry this move and kind of stay on the ground, and you're kind of like a ninja. DMC is kind of in between, where you've got a lot of air juggles, but you're also a lot of ground moves. Bayonetta is lots of air moves. It's like all like that. That's where you get most of your combos. They all extend into the air at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very odd then that they chose to do these wing sections where there's no jumping, there's no anything. Like, you only have ground all of a sudden. It feels really odd to me. That and you can spam dodge all of a sudden, because Bayonetta has a built-in anti-dodge spam mechanic that's really cool. You can't just spam it.
Yeah.
You can't just constantly hit dodge, because if you do 3 in a row, she does a pose at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get hit during the pose. It's a really long wind-up for the pose. But in the air, you can dodge infinitely. So it feels weird, especially when, there's no, because I would just hammer that button.
Yeah.
So it's odd, like, the final boss, I only made it through that section because whenever I wasn't attacking, I was just spamming dodge. Like, there's no reason for me
exactly
not
what
to.
I did.
Like, that was the issue for me with that final boss, was that I was just like, I'm not playing with all the game's mechanics at this point. I'm just spamming dodge.
It is kind of cheap.
Yeah, but then you do fight him again one time after that on the ground again.
Yeah.
And it's fun because he's really weakened, so you beat the ever-loving shit out of him.
He has like 2 full bars. I think
just,
you wiped him out in like 3 hits. He just fucking keeled over and died.
Yeah, and then you and Baldur do this fucking crazy climax move.
Yeah, and you create that
Jubileus
thing, and it winks.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
It's cool.
All winks in Bayonetta are the most adorable thing.
Yeah. And then it kills the shit out of him and you win.
His
by the way,
soul
that's
shoots...
Aesir.
Yeah, that's Aesir, the god of chaos.
Yeah, it's the god of chaos. He wants to be the god because there's no god in the chaos realm.
And he can recreate the world, and anything and nothing exists.
No. That way humans won't have free will, but humans gotta have free will because, I don't know.
Yeah, and then so his soul gets ripped from his body. Oh, his body actually gets launched into the air and eaten by John.
Oh yeah, it does get launched in the air, and John's on like a
jet again.
A jet, and then she gets the theme song for some reason.
Lucky her.
And she uses her cool demon that has not broken out yet, unlike Bayo.
Yeah, soon.
Why? They don't really explain why the angels and demons are working together to get this fucking eye for Aesir.
Yeah.
Maybe they do in a book, but don't know.
I didn't read any of them.
Yeah, like, why did the demons break out of Bayonetta's thing?
That's because the bounds of... I don't remember. Rodon says something about it, though, early in the game. He goes, oh, the ties between demons are becoming weak.
Something like that.
I don't remember. But yeah, so he makes an offhand comment about it.
Yeah.
To go, that's why, so that we could make it look cool.
Yeah. I don't really understand the story in this game.
So his soul, Aesir's soul, is still standing there. And he goes, well, I'm just going to go to another time.
Yeah.
And start over. But he opens up a portal, but just before he jumps through, Boulder gets in the way and absorbs him. And
Loki's like, that's pure evil, mate.
Yeah. And then
that's
he's
what Loki
like,
sounds like.
It's okay, Bayo, just call me father. And she goes,
time.
Daddy. And then he goes away.
It's hot as hell. Daddy.
And then the kid, Loki, he goes, I'm dead now.
Bye. Oh. Luca has a really good moment at the beginning of this section. Probably the only good Luca moment in this whole game, where Lopter, before he not fuses, but before they like have their big fight, that whole big final fight, Loki's just sitting there and Lopter's like, no, I'm gonna fucking murder this little kid, and Luca just swings in and grabs him, and Lopter has a moment where he just goes, what's that?
Yeah,
it feels really weird because he's not using his like normal voice. It sounds like the actor just went, what?
It's very familiar to, why the fuck are you telling me this?
Why the fuck you telling
me
this?
Like that moment of, why are you telling me? Like what did just happen?
Feels very real.
Yeah, I really liked it. That's probably my favorite moment of Luca's in this game.
I mean, it's the only moment I remember or even remembered to say anything about.
Yeah, and
As he swings in one more time and grabs Loki.
Loki goes on about, I'm just going to come back as a new god. And then he disappears. He just dissipates like a Jedi.
Yeah, he Jedis away.
And then we cut, and we're back to modern day, present day, New York City, I guess. And they're back to present shopping. John and Bayo. And they're like, oh, hey, there's things. You see Lucas working with Rodon to pass out flyers about the Gate of Hell. I don't know why you'd want to invite normies to that bar. But that's what it seems to be they're doing. And then Bayo goes to hand a gift to Enzo, and she just puts it in the air and drops it because he's not there. And she goes, I forgot Enzo. And then he just shows up on an airplane, and there's a bunch of angels following him. And Bayo goes, cool.
I'm gonna kill some fucking angels. And her and John, and then you see John's butt for a second. It's great.
Best part of the game. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 10
No,
out of 10 butt.
So then you get the credits. And the credits are always fun in these games because you get to do little battles.
Yeah, they're fun. They're like a little greatest hits.
Yeah.
Of all your battles, real quick.
Yeah, you get real angry when you screw them all up, and then you see PJ do it, and he does it perfectly, and you go, God damn
he has
it.
chainsaws.
I wish I had chainsaws. And then you get this final scene. You get the boulder back to his time, and he puts on the mask, and you go, oh, it's a perfect circle, and it says Bayonetta in red instead of blue.
Yeah, it does the little Bayo 1 title sequence, and then that's the game.
Yeah, I think it's
we didn't do the witch trials.
I did a couple. I did one of them.
Were they fun?
No, they're just like the other ones. So I didn't really.
We didn't do the witch trials.
And we also
did the
didn't.
end, so suck my dick.
We didn't do the co-op, which I really want to do at some point.
Yeah, but I heard the frame rate takes a shit when it's on.
Really?
When it's not, because you can do it online.
Oh, okay. Well, it's gonna be selling soon for just the single version.
Yeah, $30.
Not gonna buy it.
Sponsored by Nintendo.
But no, I really want to play it, but I'm not that interested that I need to play it. So
yeah, I mean, I do kind of want to play as Rodon.
Oh yeah, I want to fight Rodon one day.
Yeah, one day
when I get a cheat code for it.
Yeah, cheat codes. So yeah, once again, we come to this section after we talk about the story really horribly because we're not good at it.
Where we don't remember half of it.
Yeah, and we constantly have to go, oh yeah, totally forgot to mention this thing.
That we should have talked about at the very beginning.
Where we ask each other questions.
And you realize that Jake has really bad questions and PJ has really intelligent ones.
And you go, PJ doesn't even have a book in his hands. He doesn't have any questions.
Oh no. Let me open up my book. Look at that. No questions.
No. Do you want to go first?
No.
I'll start with an easy one. Which one do you like more, Bayo 1 or Bayo 2?
Bayo 1.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just kidding. Bayo 2. Sorry.
Kills me.
I really like Bayo 2 a lot. Bayo 1's good. Like, I think it's probably a better game. But, like, I had much more fun playing Bayo 2. I had to put the difficulty down in the first one. It was a lot more punishing to me. But this one, I was like,
I forgot you started this in normal and finished it in normal.
I really did. I
didn't see any stones. Do you have any stones, buddy?
I don't think I did. I might have had one. I think I had one stone, and that was when I had died.
Oh, I do remember. I overwrote one of your stones. Sorry.
Yeah. Whatever. Thanks.
But regardless, like my normal playthrough was all stones in Bayo 1.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah. But yeah, this one I was like, oh, this was really fun. I think I almost got a platinum trophy at one point. So you
did better than me on like multiple stages.
I got really into this one. I don't know why. It just really clicked with me. I had a lot of fun. The story, I really liked the way it kind of looped together. And it was like, hey, look, it's like a Mobius strip. It just like twisted around and you put it back together and went, oh, cool.
It's like a Mobius shit.
And it makes me want to go back and play 1 again. Like, oh, now I'm better. I feel like I get the mechanics even better now. I can go back and play 1 on normal difficulty, and it make it feel right because this game's a bit easier.
Yeah.
So playing that on normal now will feel the next logical progression because what's his face is like in his prime now because now he's got, you understand like why he's stronger because he's got evil in him. Like, oh, okay, maybe that's why this game's harder because it's actually later and you're weaker. Like it, I don't know. It makes sense like why the game is a bit easier harder, here and that one's harder. So yeah, I think the second one's a lot better. I like the music, but Yeah, you mentioned that the title music doesn't play as often, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, maybe you're right. But that title music is still really good.
It's not bad. It's just not nearly as catchy as "Fly Me to the Moon."
But is that because "Fly Me to the Moon" is a more popular song?
Yeah, for sure. But like every time I heard "Fly Me to the Moon," I was like, "Yeah, you fly me to the moon, lady."
Well, I don't know. Moon River, I really liked.
I like it.
I think I liked it more just because it's not "Fly Me to the Moon."
It would have grown on me more
if they played it all the time,
or just at key moments where like I felt like it got too bogged down in its dramatic music, which was really good. It has a really good soundtrack, but like every once in a while it's fun to like just cut all the drama, which is what I thought Bayonetta did really well, where it was like, look at all this drama, and then she's like, but whatever. Yeah. Like, I'm fucking Bayonetta. I don't give a shit. So like you'd have all this crazy dramatic music and all these huge fucking angels, and then out of nowhere it would just turn into like "Fly Me to the Moon" or whatever, like one of her like disco-y song, not disco-y, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of her like dance songs, and she would just beat the shit out of it like it was nothing. And I always really appreciated that in one. Whereas in this, she feels a lot more vulnerable, which isn't a bad thing. She's not vulnerable. She just feels more vulnerable than
it's not like Team Ninja had the game.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't suddenly have like 6 babies or anything like that. She cares more about Loki, which makes sense because she cared not so much about Cereza, and by the end
I wonder if that's because in Bayonetta 1 there's no consequences for her because she has no memory. None of these people mean anything to her. For here, she's like, now she's got a friend. She's got a real friend. She's got John. You know, she's got some of her memories back.
Oh, she's got real stakes.
You know, and things are now important to her. Whereas before, it's like, whatever. Like,
it makes sense. It's a natural progression for the character, I think.
Yeah, and that's why I like this game. It's like, you get to see a little bit more of her humanity.
Yeah, that's true. You see more of her humanity. Whereas before, in Bayo 1, she does seem more of like, she doesn't really seem human like 99% of the time. Every once in a while, she has a little human moment.
Yeah.
But most of the time, she seems something more than human almost.
Yeah. Here, she doesn't ever feel vulnerable.
There's like one...
I don't know. She like emotionally every once in a while, but never like in a strength sense. She always feels powerful.
She does get hit in a cutscene, and when I said that, I think I was like, can I have dodged that? Because they use the effect when she got hit, like you do when you're playing. And I think it's the only time in any of the cutscenes she gets hit. Which is really odd to me, which is why it felt so weird, because I was like, what? Like, she never gets hit in cutscenes. It's always your fault that she got hit.
Yeah.
So that kind of felt a little bit odd. Although at the same time, it was showing how much power he had.
Yeah.
And at the end, she does beat him pretty much all by herself.
Like, so.
I like Bayo 1 more. I think maybe its little theme resonated with me more. But I think that Bayo 2 gets a little bogged down in the drama, whereas I think I said this when we talked about Bayo 1. One of the coolest things that I like about Bayonetta is that she's above all the drama.
Yeah.
And then in this one, it's not like she's it's not like she's below it or anything, or like part of the drama. It's just that she's, I don't know. I wanted a couple more moments where she kind of broke out of it and was like, I got this. Like
it's kind of like. You have Indiana Jones 1, right? It's a weird reference, I know. Indiana Jones 1, there's no stakes for him except he wants to get the treasure.
Right.
But then you have Indiana Jones 3, where now there's some stakes because his father's there. He hasn't seen his father in a long time.
Yeah.
And he's not nearly as heroic as he is. He's more vulnerable here because he's helping his dad. You know, you see a different side of that character. He's still, strong and powerful, but he's also he's got a human side to him here. He's got his dad, who's really cool. He's a way better character than Indiana Jones.
I think I would have liked. See, I don't mind it 99 or 80% of the game. Once she saves Jean, I wanted her to kind of kick it back into gear.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I wanted that fight that may or may not have happened with Lumen Sage to be a little bit more like grandiose and like.
Yeah.
Not that it may or may not have been grandiose. Again, I don't remember if it happened or not, but not
because they become friends at that point.
I thought it was a little bit. I thought it was right after that they become friends.
They start to you start to see it come apart. I think in that little fight.
But
what he's there for is clearly the kid. And it's not like why is he fighting her?
I just felt like right around that moment is when she should have gotten all of her like 100% confidence levels
Yeah.
again. Like she has her friend. Like it's totally fair for her, and she does have a bunch of moments. I'm not saying she doesn't have any moments. She doesn't become a scared child in this game.
No.
Other than when she turns into a scared child and is immediately eaten.
Oh, that's
her
part
fault.
Is nuts.
When an enemy does the attack, the Jubileus attack, for some weird reason.
Yeah.
But they never. I don't know. Like I said, they do moments. Like when she meets up with Madama Butterfly's rival.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can just break it and just don't break anything else and leave. And she's like, and just breaks a bunch of stuff. Like that felt very Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I just want a couple more moments like that. It's Bayonetta 2 is the better game. Let's get that out of the way. It's the better game. I'm sure if I pumped it up to pure platinum difficulty or whatever it's called, game is super hard.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as hard as Bayo 1. That's not a problem. Difficulty is not inherently good or bad. I have a lot of fun in Bayo 1 with the difficulty, but at the same time, I recognize that it ramps up way too quickly for no real reason.
I think the difficulty for you is what you prefer. I mean, it's not like...
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, Metal Gear Rising's not hard if you know how to parry.
Yeah.
Which, you have to learn how to parry if you want to get past the first boss, and then after that, the game is a cakewalk for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all pretty easy. And it's just, and that's fine. That game's awesome. I fucking love that game. DMC3 is really fucking difficult on normal. Insanely difficult. Way too difficult, even. But it's fun. It matches that game. It's perfectly fine that it's easier. And when I say that Bayo 2 is easier, not an insult.
Yeah.
Game is better than 1. Has better mechanics. Or not better, but they flow a lot better. Everything feels flowier. Bettier.
Betty or your...
So what's your question?
Of all the locations in this game, yeah, I know. Look at me, I just dig in. Which ones did you prefer? And did you prefer the locations in which game more?
I prefer the locations in 2, with a caveat of I like that the more realistic, like normal locations in 1. 1's end game location kind of matches closer to Bayonetta 2's beginning of game location.
Yeah, the city.
Where you can have that crazy bullshit with, 2 people flying on jet planes and landing on train. Like, all that stuff mixed with all the crazy looking angels. That's what I think of when I think of Bayonetta.
Mm-hmm.
Not, like I said a bunch of times at this point, City from DMC4 being reused for some weird reason. Like, they look identical. In 2. But 2's locations are fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think Hell is the standout, probably.
Hell.
Yeah.
I really liked Hell. I really liked the Manta Ray.
Yeah, the Manta Ray is so cool.
It's just a cool little area. Something different. Very organic.
Yeah. Well,
I liked Hell being organic.
Yes.
That's
yes.
the other thing. I felt like it was a nice progression from that to a bit of the abstract part before that, and then you go into Hell, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like there's these like trees that you punch, and they wiggle out.
Yeah, they look really
so
cool.
Like it gets under my skin because
they look like centipedes.
Centipedes, yep. Yeah. It's real creepy.
I like how it reminds me. I'm sorry that I keep sucking the SMT dick, but Kaneko, who did not all of the original designs, but a lot of the more memorable SMT designs, how he designed all his angels versus his demons, where the demons are all organic and the angels, like Metatron, is just a robot.
Yeah.
Like, so he made all the angels very, like, robotic looking, and it reminded me a lot of that.
It's kind of how this is. I mean, all the angels are very armor plated.
Yeah, although they have these creepy things underneath of them.
Yeah, when you break them apart, you start to see, like, they're much worse. Whereas the Hell monsters were just kind of like they're just like more humanoid-ish without like they're not like they weren't trying to hide their facade as much. Like you could see what they were without having to break them apart. Those enemies were all really cool looking there.
They're also a lot harder.
Oh yeah, especially there's this one enemy that makes other enemies red. And they become almost invincible.
Well, they did that in the Angels have one of those too. One of those buffers.
But
I was thinking those fucking sword guys.
There was one fight I had that I don't think you went to. I think you skipped it, and I told you to for a reason.
Yes.
Where I think you fight two of those sword guys, and they're both red, and the things that make them red kept spawning. I don't know if that was right, because I feel like I fought it the second time, and he didn't do that. But I couldn't make them not red, and it was killing me, literally, because it was like one of the only times I died in the game. Oh,
I died to one of those guys. That was one of the times I died.
Yeah, they're really tough.
It was the only time a normal enemy killed me, I think.
When they do it with such a cheap attack.
They're just really hard to like. They have those two swords, and you just don't know when you're supposed to be dodging and when you're not.
Those guys killed me, and then the one that turns you into a baby. Like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that is another one of my game overs. Like I said, I got 2 of 3 or 4 of my game overs, all in hell. Like,
hey,
that's the time where it ramps up the difficulty a bit.
Yeah, and as it should. I feel like hell should be harder than the rest of the game.
Oh yeah,
I mean it's hell. Yeah, I think that was really cool. That's probably my favorite area. I like some of the city stuff. The architecture for things is a lot better.
Beautiful.
Like when you're swimming through and exploring, I just really like that stuff. I think it's a lot better than the first game city stuff. All that's kind of
for sure
forgettable. Like I remember a lot of this one. Like even the opening part with the big open lake.
Yep.
And you got the 2 sides to it. I don't know. That part looks really fucking cool. I ran around there a lot.
The visual style of this game is really, really good.
Seeing the mountain in a lot of shots is really nice. I don't know. I think the visuals in this game, again, really outdo the first game.
Well,
it doesn't hold back with like the color palettes. It really just lets it shine that, hey, we make levels that look good. We don't have to put a sepia-tone fucking filter over it.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with Bayo 1's art style is that colors feel really subdued when they really shouldn't. They should be bright and vibrant, which Bayo 2 does really well. Everything is bright and vibrant.
I almost wish maybe like if they like the remake, they kind of like you could keep that sepia-tone look and whatever, but like as the music kicks up, enhance the colors, make things brighter.
Yeah,
and like then it's like, oh, cool. Like this looks really
even the brighter areas of 1 seem dull compared to the dullest areas of 2. Like
really, because like even swimming underwater,
it's beautiful.
There's stuff going on. Like
doesn't control well, but it looks really cool. You don't ever have to fight anything. Just kidding. You do have to fight things constantly underwater for some reason.
Yeah, or you have to learn how to swim underwader.
Oh yes, you do have to learn how to swim
by turning off the system 4 times.
You do have to learn how to swim underwater without any tool tips on.
Yeah, I don't know why that would happen.
Yeah. I thought the game was broken.
Well, thankfully, we looked it up, and a lot of people had the same problem. Because I think one of the first things you get is, do you want tooltips? And you go, no. And then you're screwed for that sequence that, for some reason,
any platinum game, I'm like, give me those tooltips. I know you're not going to tell me anything.
It just needs to pop up at some point, like, hey,
you're not doing anything. You're just going to live down here?
Yeah. Like, it should come up real slow, like, hey, by the way, do this move that you're not doing. Or why is it being locked to that? I don't know. It's really weird. That's one of the few things I thought was bad game design, was that single level opening.
It just felt weird.
Maybe you get a cutscene and then you're just frozen in the air if you don't know what you're doing. Like, that's not how a level should start.
Yeah, unless that tooltip is. But
there's a tooltip for sure because I did it, but like that's I did it before and I was still sitting there going, oh yeah, game's fucked. You got a soft lock, dude. It was very strange.
Yeah, it was very, very
it did not feel as organic as other parts of the game. Like that was very wrong.
Game's really good.
Yeah, great game.
It is really good.
You got another question? Yeah, me neither.
I mean, not really. I mean, would you like the weapons in this game more than 1?
Yeah, I mean, of the weapons I played with the first one, like I didn't have Kilgore, but it's just a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
But this one, like, I really like the hammer. I didn't play it very much, but it was cool looking, and if that's your play style, then it works for you. Like, I thought it was really nice to have a big fucking hammer. It reminded me of the skull hammer from Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's my favorite game, so I remember when you get the skull hammer.
The skull hammer in Majora's Mask. And, I don't know. It reminded me of that. And I like it's got like mechanical parts to this hammer for some reason. Like, I don't know. It's just a really cool looking weapon. The bow I played with a little bit. I didn't
It's cool. It's a cool concept. At least it's different than the rest.
Yeah, it's not ice skate, so that's cool.
I like the ice skate.
I'm trying to think. I used the katana, the 2 katanas the whole time. The whip is really fun.
Whip is really good.
Yeah, I really like the whip. Didn't get to use the chainsaws because I never got
chainsaws are super fun though.
Yeah,
2 has the better weapons, I think.
I think they're more
They're
memorable.
more fun. They're definitely not just me using the sword the whole game, which is what I did in 1.
No, just that, and then chainsaws as soon as you get them.
Well, no, I had the whole game for me at least was, well, for the first part before I had the chainsaws was pistol, for like singular people attacks because they're really good at that. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm really bad at the game. I don't know. But they seem really good at fighting people one-on-one. And then for all other normal enemies, I was using swords, and I was cheating a little tiny bit because I used the whips.
Yeah.
But they're really fun, and I don't really care. As I was having fun, so it didn't matter to me.
I did all guns.
Yeah.
Got the katana, did katana gun. I got that bow, and I really did like it at first, and I used it a bunch for like a level, and I went, nah, I'm really bored with it now.
Yeah.
Like, it's
just your guns.
Yeah. And it's
your guns have a really cool mechanic now. Forgot about that.
What's the mechanic?
Well, they used to be, they just fired endlessly. They were your combo extender, like in DMC. But now they're less of a combo extender because you can get the fuck around the stage so easily in this game. Like, it feels like areas are a tiny bit smaller, and it seems like your stinger range on everything is nuts. Like, you can go across the stage with almost all your moves.
Yeah.
So now they're not so much combo extenders as much as they are like damage dealers. So you hold the weapon down for a second and it charges a shot, and then you hit it again and it does a really powerful shot.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. I like that there's all these little tiny mechanics going on with all the buttons.
Yeah.
They all mean something, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think the combos are a lot better in this game. Like,
well, they're a lot easier to pull off.
Yeah,
sure.
That's what I meant. Yeah. So I had katana, then I went katana gun. Then as soon as I got that whip, that was it. That was my rest of my game was just gun whip. Sorry, katana whip.
Yeah, katana
the whole time.
Really fun.
I that whip was so good, and I put it on our shoes, and I just went to town.
I did the exact same thing you did.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun combo.
And then I got the double chainsaw, and I was like,
"You're done. That's it."
Yeah, that was so fun. I love those chainsaws.
Yeah, it makes me want to play a little bit of it just because it seems fun. Yeah, didn't you get a bunch of weird guns? I didn't play with them, but you just get the regular guns from the first game
like
that you start the game with.
And
well, you get the regular guns.
Yeah,
but then you get like
regular
ass
like,
guns,
people guns.
Yeah, from when he throws them out of the grave in the first game, which is really weird. Was there one more weapon that we got?
Yeah, not tonfas, but the maces that change.
Oh,
they're
the
like
maracas that do fire and ice. But
they're
never
the
got
claws
the ice to
from
work.
the first game, but I never used them, so it didn't really matter. And I think we missed a weapon. Oh, the chain chomp. We didn't get the chain chomp.
Chain chomp, but you have to get a thing. It's really hard.
We're not doing that. So
yeah, I don't remember what it is, but it's
I think
hard.
you have to beat the game on hard or something.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, we're shit at this game. But yeah, did I say that? Was that my question?
That was your question.
What's your question?
I don't got one. So instead, you're trying to think of one. I'm stalling.
Well, Bayo 2 is really good.
Yeah,
I highly, if you own a Wii U, buy Bayo 2.
Yeah.
Don't even wait for the $30 thing. Just buy it, so you can have Bayo 1 as well.
Yeah, you should play both.
You really should play both. You need to. Or you miss out on crucial plot details, like whose dad is who. And really, though, both games are really, really good. I prefer Bayo 1. I love both games.
Yeah.
Bayo 1 is now one of my all-time favorite games. Bayo 2, also one of my favorite games, but lower on the list. So that didn't make any sense.
I don't know. I don't think Bayo 2 is better on my list. Like, I think Bayo 1 is more important as a game. But I think Bayo 2 is more fun.
It's the better game.
Like, I would put Call of Duty higher in the list, right? But I would probably have more fun with Modern Warfare, just because the mechanics are better.
I think Modern Warfare is good.
Yeah, but I don't think it's better. It's
5?
groundbreaking.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, it's some of it's like...
I also have the nostalgia for
Call
of Duty.
That's what a favorites list is. Favorites is never like, these are the best games.
Yeah.
Like, Bayo 1 is my favorite of the two, it's not the better game.
No.
It's mechanically inferior, barely, like just barely. And like pacing is inferior as well. Again, just barely, but Bayo 2 is the quote unquote better game.
Yeah.
But Bayo 1 is more important to me, and I like its message a lot more.
Yeah.
Which is just, I don't know, be confident because you're cool.
These are cool.
I like that. I like that message. It feels very like, I don't know, for all the crazy bullshit that's going on, it's really simple.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah. I also like the final fight in Bayo 1 a lot more than Bayo 2. And the like lead up to it where you play as Jean and you're like flying up this fucking rocket and you're like jumping up a rocket and you get the Jubileus and you fight a fucking god of creation. Like,
and then
that shit's crazy.
Didn't you do the ending 4 times because it's really hard to dodge planets?
No, the planet dodging's not hard. The bullet from the normal final bot from Father Baldur. That's the fucking impossible
that's
part.
the one. Sorry, I had problems with the planets. You had problems with the bullet.
Oh, I had so many problems with the bullet. I had so many problems with the bullet. I think the game just gave it to me at one point.
Yeah,
I don't know how I did it because it was just like, okay, you can't do this anymore, and you just like handed it to me.
Anyway, yeah, this is a good game. It's really great. It should be played by a lot of people.
Everybody.
I mean,
it has a no button touch mode. Play the fucking game.
Yeah.
I don't care how shit you are at games. Play the game. Put it on very easy and put it on the mode where you touch things and she kills shit.
You will have fun. It's a really fun game.
Go to town. Like, it's crazy. I love it.
I don't know. Any other closing thoughts?
No. I love this game.
Great
I
game.
love Bayo 1 as well. I'm glad we played both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we playing next week?
Ace Combat 4.
Oh, thank God, because I was not thinking that for some reason.
Next week we were playing Ace Combat 4, a game that also begins with jet planes.
Yeah, but what?
I made that joke last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Great.
Because I thought we were playing Ace Combat 4 this week, and so I was like, jet planes.
Great.
So yeah, join us then, and we'll be playing a game that is good.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
real good.
Maybe I'm having fun with it.
Just really wish I had a better dub for weird parts, but we'll get to it.
Yeah. And then I don't know what we're doing after that, but it doesn't matter.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe.
We're going to change some stuff, probably.
We're probably going to change some stuff around.
Because we're bad at games. We
Yeah.
just don't really want to play bad ones.
That's our closing. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Perfect.